Hey, what's going on? Matty Day Trades here, back at it again. Little weekly watch list. Market's been going absolutely nuke here. It's been great. I love it. I love buying calls. I love buying puts. Whatever works, works. So we're going to start here with you. Growth has been just absolutely insane, absolutely parabolic. We posted this thing 47.30. Already made a nice move to 58.47. As you can see, a breakdown of retest is really this 65 level, right? So to give you a little more perspective, here's that weekly, right? We went over this play. I saw the similarities just like Coinbase did when that thing moved like 15%. Clear 47.30 here, as we mentioned before. That high of 50 broke out. Then we saw that 56 breakout. Um, So really what I'm looking for here at a Unity is Friday's high. We'll play calls over that, and honestly over Friday's highs. We're looking for that 65.30 level. Let's see what the daily looks like, honestly. Yeah, 65.30 is the level I will be watching. So Friday's high, 65 is on course. And then if you wanted to play short side on this, let's see. I'd probably. It's quite some ways down at 52. This is so 57, 55. Mm, I mean, you could be risky here and try to get in early. Um, Ideally, I 52.88 for a bounce or a breakdown. If that breaks down, you can see a nice fall 47. You could play the low break at 54, risking that 52.77. Um, Even go up at 55.60, risking that 53, and then moving down. This thing hasn't really cooled down at all since the major breakout, so definitely on the table. But market's been hot, looks hot. We'll see. Roblox, the same thing. These growth names have been going absolutely parabolic. Beautiful breakdown. To the downside. Looks like seller's exhaust here puts in a reversal candle, and now we're ripping to the upside. Retest of all-time low here, I guess, would be your breakdown somewhere at 60. So let's take a look here. This weekly breakout broke out, retested. Long side here, we need this prior low, right? But over 53.63, this thing can rip 58 and 61 really fast. PA is incredibly thin. Got some nice volume on this breakout, nice follow through. 53.63 reject. We'll first go over, like I said, targets really 58.61. Let's see if Roblox can create some opportunities here. And to the short side here, you have this cushion down. So you play the reject 53.63, 50.44, under 50.44. If you can get 48, under 48, this thing has fun to the downside to 45.30. And if that, 46 honestly looks great. So under 46, you see 42 fast, right? And here's that 53.63, right? Play the breakout. We want to move up 57.58. Gap fill starts 59, 60.61, fills gap 66. And then that reject, right? 53.63. If we get it under 51, right? What happens to price? We see 46. 46 breaks down. Where do we go? 42, right? So this is another name looking really good. I hope market goes rippy because nice volume on Roblox overall. These growth names have been creating opportunities every week. It would be real nice to get this move to the upside and get to play it. So definitely have this on your radar. Roblox 2 years ago moved amazingly. Hopefully we can see some of that action like we used to. Chip's been, relative strength. They've been, real hot, honestly. This monthly, we could have done some supply and demand. This 146 is your retested breakout, going up, coming down. Matty Boy's crazy. If that 210 breaks down, I want 146. Well, got it. Couple dollars under, now ripping to the upside. Really, if market gets going crazy, Nvidia 208, 209, unreal. This is monthly. It's going to be, different target. Weekly, over 160. We knew this thing would go nuts. 160 had some trouble at this trend, broke trend and resistance at that 180, poked a new high at 193. Over 193, I think this thing can have some serious fun. First up would be this prior high at 196.20. Over that, we should have some fun on this name. 204, and then that 208, 209. Honestly, playing this, so it's kind of tricky, right? For me, I have that 189, but we have this prior high where we're gonna see if longs, or shorts take over here at 193. I'm gonna wait till there, and then you're kind of risking, right? This is what I call risk on. I'm risking that prior high at 196.50. The reason being is you still get a $3.50 move. It's worth it. I could trim cons there if we go hold over 196.50. I want Nvidia at 201.56, that prior high at 205, and over 205 we should go test that 208, 9, 10 where we broke down, right? That's that major breakdown level. 196.50 is the green light to really get going, 201, etc. So like I said, I'm going to wait till 193 to be safe here. You could get in at 189, honestly, but just know you're kind of buying right into that supply there, so be careful. I'm going to wait till that 193 breaks out. And like I said, we know the moves on these weekly breakouts. It broke out, retested, fell below due to news, but back over. We need to attack this prior high, and this can get going. And then that monthly, like I said, monthly target 208.53. How's our downside? So I guess if 189 rejects, we can see 185, which is where we've been get caught up. Under 185. This thing can fall back to 183 and that magic 180 level. So definitely be on your toes for either side here. This is I'm not saying we come down here, but this 170, 172 range under 180 is real possible. That's where we've been getting our bounces. So the video looks pretty good. PayPal, I have so many names here. Airbnb, I think, should get noticed here because, a couple of years ago, Airbnb moved really nice. You got 5% moves out of this name. I really like the CEO. I like what he's doing. I like what he's up to. Smart, knows how to make the money. So the weekly here, right, 120, we entered some calls, risking this prior high at 125.40. You see we broke out, hit a high of 127.30, rejecting back down. But what I want to show you here is the retest of breakdown is like anywhere from 130 to 135. And again, Airbnb is a name that can really move. So, how I would play this is now again, since we did poke through that 125.40 reject, we did put in a new high. Now I'll use that, right? So now my new entry would be 127.14 here, risking 129.70, 130, 131, gap fill up here, 133. 133 should give us that 135. To the downside, again, we've been nailing this both ways. I personally would like to wait till the breakdown of 121. Actually, I don't really even like this downside. The weekly looks different for sure. Like 121. I don't really like this downside. I wouldn't look for it. Under 121, it can get some love at 120. It's kind of choppy in this area, so I'm good with the downside on that. But like I said, upside, get a real nice move out of that. I guess Microsoft's going to be the last name here. So on the weekly, Microsoft massive breakout off that weekly trend, ran right through 281. Didn't it got stopped up a little bit, but not much here. This I'm looking. What is this high? 293.30, and we have a gap fill all the way to 296. Over 296, this thing really can run to like what was it? 296, 300, 305. Big psych levels. As you can see, we're struggling at 290, 60 here. Um, you have a gap all the way to 310, honestly, but our gap fill is right at 256, pretty big resistance. So really, I would just look for a quick $3 move here. Again, entry would be this prior high, that gap fill at 293.30. Looking for 296.50. Definitely trim some bag there. Can see a nice move to 300 if it gets going. 300 would be my risk level. Over 300, 301. This thing can move to 305. To the downside, 290.60. You're risking, 288. Let's see, intraday here. Yeah, so 290.60 with the risk of 288.35, targeting 286.40, and then I would love to see 283.70, 281. But I'm more looking long side on this name as well. Piton, I hate to say it, it's definitely worth a mention. Don't mind my intraday. It's worth a mention, right? It's kind of obviously has fallen insanely, and Piton's a shit. I don't like whatever. It's a shit company, shorter to the ground. But I will say, put in a low, kind of based out there, broke that 1125 base. That prior low 1240 broke out. It's 1240 to 1460. If 1460 breaks out, we could see 1630, 1740, and go a little rippity rip all the way up to 20 here. Meme's been moving, just definitely notable. I have a couple notable mentions that I won't really go over too crazy. But Pep here, supply and demand, it's been beautiful. Now we're looking to go test and see if we can break out all-time highs. Can catch some buyers there. Airbnb, Amazon, Google, LAC. These Amazon's kind of the same thing. Where before this 140, 145 major dip buys ripped all the way up 153, 158. We are kind of breaking out here. The PAs, again, look what happens is straight red, straight green, red, green, red, green, right? So definitely notable mention, or the reject and the comeback down to retest that 127 level. Again, these names I'm going over is not really targets, just to get your eyes on something. LAC, it's been pretty incredible here, honestly. If you look at the daily, this one really, mirrored itself here, just a bigger move. Well, actually, it's not a bigger move, but it did mirror itself, right? We broke that prior all-time high, which when we broke that is when we got our new all-time high, right? This level, and we saw this new high, right? This time we bounced, broke out, still got a nice move here, broke out, put in not a new high, but still absolutely ripper. Same thing here, right? We bounced here, went here. Now we're back over here, so I'm super interested to see what LAC is up to. Zoom. You guys know this. The bear flag, another bear flag. Weekly's getting real tight and squeezy here. We could see a breakout, maybe an inverted head and shoulders. ABBV, definitely notable mention. Creating trend here. Long side, if you played that 138, it was really simple stop loss. If it broke down, we need a new low. Instead, it's bouncing off trend. When we get these bounces off this 138, 140 level, it kind of creates, these real nice moves to the sub 50, 150s. PFE, I think, should get a notable mention. Broke down, looked like it's trying to come back in. We did have a fake out here one time and ripped right to the top of the channel. So this is a higher low. Do we rip to the top of the channel? Do we break out? I don't know. Definitely have it on your radar. Crowd is another one. Cyber went absolutely nuclear, and Crowd is in a weekly bull flag. And if it can clear this 203.75, 212, right, this thing could go nuclear. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. And yeah, I think that should be it. CHPT's flow has been crazy. We've finally been making money off of it. 1620 broke, it went. Now we're looking at this all eyes on that 20 level. Um, CVX getting real tight on the weekly here. Uh, you know, a lot of names to be watching here. CVS monthly looks real nice here. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. All right, everyone, let's bank tomorrow. Happy Sunday. Let's get it.